Yeah, hi there. These comments are for 4355 or 4359, which is the last four digits of your student number. And you're doing a homework exercise for my TOEFL Level 6 class. And I am going to correct some of the grammar errors. Okay, let's see how many correct sentences you can get. So when we went to the park with the family, my mother told me, I would change this to take. Because the verb is told, which is past, so you need an infinitive here. My mother told me to take care of my sister because I was. Notice all the verbs: went, told, was, past, past, past. So for consistency purposes, when I was a child, my father put a small gift every weekend in my bed. Okay, this sentence is correct. Number 3, my childhood was wonderful because it had a happy moment with my family. A good sentence, but I'm trying to get you to write 20 words or more to show that you understand how to write more complex type sentences. So this one's a little short. Many years ago, every Friday, we went to, you want to say grandfather's house. You want to use a possessive noun here. So we went to grandfather's house and ate the delicious food together. I wouldn't even use the article here. We ate delicious food together. Okay, let's keep going. Number 5, I had the best friends when I was in elementary school. If you say and, you have to use student, right? So I had the best friends when I was an elementary school student. We played together and ate meals during the break. But you want to combine these together. What if you use this? So I had the best friends when I was an elementary school student in that we played together and ate meals during the break. Number 6, when I was a child, I wish I could. The problem here is once you use this dependent clause, which is past tense, you have to talk about this in the past. So I wished I could have become like my father because he had been my hero. That's how I would change that. I wished I could have become like my father because he had been my hero. So in this case, we're using the past perfect to talk about a past impossible situation. I had a small cat. You want to change this to whose, not her. So whose name was Sally. Then you have your next sentence. She had no article need. She has soft hair and blue eyes. Maybe if you use a connector here, you could probably do this. I would say so, not to. If you say to, it's more negative, but if you say so, it's more positive and was so smart and kind. When I came to the house, Sally, we're using past tense here, liked to play with me. Okay, let's go to 8. My mother because you have mother, there's no need to say it. My mother was the best chef in the world. And we want to connect these two sentences together. How about and? Create a compound complex sentence, and. So my mother was the best chef in the world, and when I was a child, I liked to stay with her in the kitchen. I'm going to change this. I like to stay in the kitchen and cook. I liked, and then you have to change stayed to stay. I like to stay with her in the kitchen and cook. In this case, how about, what if you said this? And then we use a gerund here. I liked or I enjoyed staying with her in the kitchen. There, my mother was the best chef in the world, and when I was a child, I enjoyed staying with her in the kitchen to cook. You can probably get rid of this comma right here. Okay, let's go to number 9. We have my best time when I was a child, and you need to get a main verb in there. So my best time when I was a child was when my grandfather took me to the farm to see. So this is grammar you got to figure out. So you want to use with infinitives the base form of the verb. My best time when I was a child was when my grandfather took me to the farm to see the sheep and goats. Maybe put a semicolon here. So sometimes he told me to feed the sheep and play with them. Okay, when I was 10 years old, I went with my father to his the apostrophe S. So that's something that you definitely want to look at too, is when do you use the apostrophe S? When I was 10 years old, I went with my father to his friend's farm. At the first time, I was so happy and excited because there were, because you're talking about many, there were many, and cute is an adjective, it doesn't need the plural S. There were many cute sheep, small chicken, and goats. I asked my father if I could, you want to say here, I asked my father if I could have one small sheep, but he told me I could not get one because there was no good space in the home for the sheep. Usually a native speaker would say it like this: there was not enough room in our home for the sheep. Okay, so how many sentences did we get correct? We have 2. The goal here is to get 10 correct, not 2. So that's okay though. So this is why you're taking this class, is so that you can improve your grammar, right? So I made the corrections in all these sentences. Let's take a look at them one more time. When we went to the park with my family, my mother told me to take care of my sister because I was the oldest one. And 2 and 3 were correct. Number 4. Many years ago, every Friday, we went to grandfather's house and ate delicious food together. I had the best friends when I was an elementary school student, and that we played together and ate meals during the break. Give me a quick second. Number 6, when I was a child, I wished I could have become like my father because he had been my hero. Okay, so this one, I don't have a grammar lesson on this, but go to Google. You can study a little bit more about this. Here it is. Present impossible conditions, past impossible conditions in English grammar. So if you type in those key words, and maybe one more, wish statements, using present and past wish statements. Okay, 7, I had a small cat whose name was Sally. She had soft hair and blue eyes and was so smart and kind. When I came to the house, Sally liked to play with me. Okay, the main thing here, go to Google. Here's what you want to Google. Using so and to in English grammar. So what's the difference between too smart and so smart? That's what you want to figure out. Number 8, my mother was the best chef in the world, and when I was a child, I enjoyed staying with her in the kitchen to cook. Number 9, my best time when I was a child was when my grandfather took me to the farm to see the sheep and goats. Sometimes he told me to feed the sheep and play with them. 10, when I was 10 years old, I went with my father to his friend's farm. At the first time, I was so happy and excited because there were so many cute sheep, small chicken, and goats. I asked my father if I could have one small sheep, but he told me I could not get one because there was not enough room in our home for the sheep. How about this? Well, you said cute before, right? So maybe. Now, what I'm saying is, instead of repeating sheep, you can use another word that kind of restates it. So if you said, I could not get one because there was not enough room in our home for the adorable animals, that might work there. The next question is, if you go to my website, you know, what lessons in my website can you study that can help you get better? And I'm going to the grammar part of my course right now, so I'm going to take a look at a few things to see what you can do to get a little bit better with your grammar right now. So remember, A, if you do nothing, your grammar stays the same. B, if you take some of my suggestions and study these lessons, even practice, I would recommend you practice writing the sentences down. I think that would be very helpful for you. I think you need a little bit help with more advanced grammar. So I think lesson number 4, sentences with participles, that's a good one. Lesson 3, sentences with participial phrases, check that out. Lesson 6, sentences with adjective clauses. Remember her, I changed to whose. So you want to make sure you understand how to use adjective clauses. The next thing, word forms. Lesson number 12, especially remember adjectives do not take the plural s. Verb tenses. Lesson 17. 17.1, 17.2 I think are good for you right now. Lesson 20, articles. Lesson 24, very big. This is probably one of the most important lessons for you today because you had numerous problems using infinitives. So lesson 24 I think is a good one for you. And then punctuation. It looks like which one is it? Take a look at lesson 28, using or not using commas I think is good, and then review the uses of these punctuation marks here in lesson 29. All right? So unfortunately, you worked for 70 minutes in class and could not correct 10 sentences. So you spent a few days putting together or editing these sentences a little bit more, but still you could only get 2 correct. So on this particular assignment, I'm going to give you 20% out of 100. And all right, hopefully you can do a little bit better next time. And hang in there. Don't get frustrated. Hang in there. You can do this. You can get better, but it will take practice. So whatever you do, don't do the same thing. Whatever you did last quarter, probably don't do this quarter. You need to do something different this quarter. It's going to help you more with your writing and your speaking.